Ongoing discussion at the government level with regard to the demands by the 5 tribes. Despite the appeal made by the government yesterday, the protest continues today. Why is that so? Are the tribes not willing to listen to what the government also has to say? Or
yeah, let's see. On June 3rd meeting, as we had reiterated earlier, the commission was an outcome of that meeting, and the government assured that the cabinet will sit within a fortnight, 2 weeks, and also form the commission within a month. So after that meeting, the cabinet has sat on June 12th. That's what we were given to understand by the reports in the media. But then 1 month passed, but there was no sign of setting up a commission. That's when 3rd July we had taken a decision to go ahead with the protest starting today. It's only late in the evening yesterday that the government had intimated us that they are in the process of setting up a commission. But I don't think that suffices, because it was to be set up within a month. It's already over a month. We are in dark. But then having said that, that is not our original demand. Our core demand remains the scrapping of the policy, as well as the government does not have the guts to do that and give us the balance of unreserved quota. That has been a core demand, and we've been consistent with that.
why do you think, the census is an excuse? You stated that earlier, that is an excuse to delay.
Can you be more louder? Because
you earlier said that the census is an excuse to delay what the 5 tribes have been demanding. Can you highlight more in this regard?
yes, I'll take you back into time in 2016, when 5 student bodies from 5 tribes have come together on a platform and submitted 6 charter of demands. It went until 2022, 6 years to be precise. At that time there was a cabinet subcommittee headed by the Deputy Chief Minister, Home, and the conclusion of that cabinet subcommittee and of the state cabinet is there will be no review until the next census. So that has been an excuse to stonewall the demands way back in 22. This is 25, 3 years have passed, and also taking the excuse of next census, which is scheduled house listing in March 26 and head count after March 27. So it'll go for more than a year. Then what will the commission do in 2 to 3 years if they take the excuse of census to carry out the review of the reservation policy? So that's why we are here to press our demand, core demands.
Okay, sir. 5 tribes committee received any direct communication from the government since the June 12th cabinet decision?
Yes, yesterday itself they have issued a press release. They have addressed to us. You must have come across that press release issued by the government also. But then it just tells us that the government is in the process of setting up a commission, which does not really satisfies our demand.
Sir, as we know that on April 2023 and on August 2023 also you have submitted memorandums to even the CM, and he had assured you that there will be some changes, but due to lack of that, what do you think that why is the delay from the government side? What do you think is the actual cause of the delay, and why are they doing it so?
The reason is best known to the government why they are delaying. It's been 48 years, so the reason is best known to them. Maybe they don't want to, literally have that political will to carry out major reforms in policy and governance. So that shows a weakened system also, if the government is adamant on, giving excuse one after another.
Regarding the notification that government was supposed to bring out on the commission. What is the update from the government?
Yesterday, you must have come across a letter. It says the government is in the process. So the process to how many years? There's no definite timeline, whereas the agreed timeline was within a month on June 3rd. So by July 3rd, the composition of the commission and the terms of reference should have been notified. That was what was agreed.
Are they inviting
Nothing as such. They only say that the Honorable Chief Minister is currently out of the station, or rather out of the country. So once the Honorable CM comes, we'll have a immediate sitting. That is the only assurance so far. And based on that, we were supposed to have a indefinite sit-in protest, but we also have to honor a part of their request also. That's why we are limiting to a one-day protest as of today. And we will see the outcome once the Honorable Chief Minister returns. Then we'll see whether we can sit across the table and sort it out.
So how Kohima was a policy that was actually meant to benefit the weaker sections of the society. In your words, created a divide between the haves and the have-nots now.
It is already 48 years, and the people who have availed it, their children have availed it, the grandchildren are going to avail it. It has created a particular class of creamy layers. Now, if you look carefully, advanced tribe, there are so many pockets, there are so many population which are still, economically so weak. Do they deserve to be in that condition by virtue of being an advanced tribe? On the contrary, again, in the so-called backward areas also, there are so many people who are affluent, who have been, because of this reservation, they have gained the social upward mobility. Of course, we are happy that they have achieved a stage. For people who have achieved it, it's time to also ensure that their people at the lower section benefits also. It cannot be a sole privilege of some people only.
Is the protest going to be indefinite?
Yes, if the government, which has assured us that once the Honorable CM comes and we will have a sitting, and if that doesn't materialize, we are going for an indefinite, intensified agitation. We'll let you know.
How do you think the policy need to be removed or to be reviewed?
We have already said if
I
there.
think there are some members who say opinions.
No, see, that is their individual opinions as of now. The government says, the Honorable Chief Minister said that till next census to have patience. Now, next census, you all know, will take another 3 years at the most, because head count will start after March 2027, and after that maybe again election year in Nagaland. So that is why we say we cannot wait that long, and the commission also cannot dilly-dally for 2-3 years doing nothing, and that cannot be the yardstick. And as one of the speakers said, if the government is serious, it can even take a decision today. That's the crux. On behalf of the 5 tribes core committee on review of reservation policy, welcome you all to this historic sit-in protest. At the outset, my deepest gratitude to the President Simi Hoho, Vihuto Asami, Dr. Vihuto Asami was here with us today, the leaders of APO, Lota Hoho, Regma Ho, who are here with us, and also the student organizations, the youth bodies, participants from different backgrounds and walks of life, who have come here today in solidarity on the issue raised by the 5 tribes on review of reservation policy. For the benefit of all, Nagamis are English to be Cholaiwo.
Lord, we come to you today as citizens, as communities, and as your children, seeking truth, justice, and wisdom. As we gather peacefully to voice our concern, we do so not in anger, but in hope, not in division, but in the spirit of unity and constructive change. Merciful God, as we now face the reality of changing times, evolving communities, and new challenges, we seek your divine presence.
Many of you, in the last few months, we have had a protest march in our respective district headquarters. We have submitted a memorandum. You have seen our various press releases. You have seen the issues being discussed. And many of you are well aware. But at the same time, having come here, developments briefing will have a day-long program. After this program is over, we will again continue with our program where stakeholders, our youth, our students will be given the privilege to also give their opinion to us, and together we'll march ahead. But before I hand over to our convener, I'd like to introduce the 5 members who are part of this core committee. I would request our convener, Sir Engineer Tesino, to kindly come up and show his face. He's the convener of our committee as well as the president of Regma Hoho. I call upon Limakam Jamir to kindly come forward, the co-convener. Yeah, he represents the Auscendant in this committee, Mr. Limakam Jamir. I request Mr. Zato Kim Ho to kindly come forward. His presence is literally, you will not miss him. And he represents the APO in our committee. He's also the president of our Chakrama Public Organization. Mr. Zuchamo Muzri, wherever you are. Yes, the dashing representative from the Lota Hoho. So I am GK Jimobi, the member secretary from the Simi Hoho, and we five represent the 5 apex bodies in this committee. Before again, as I repeat, I hand over, let me give a brief gist of how we have progressed to this extent. 48 years, abigan sab puriya se, indefinite reservation policy. And the time, on everybody's mind, everybody's thinking hard is, it is enough. However, amakan nijer ekta individual para bhavna kora to it doesn't translate unless we come together on a single platform. Today we are here. 2016, our student bodies, 5 student bodies had come together and had issued 6 charter of demands to the government. It dragged on for 6 years. The government conveniently said that it will be after next census. The issue ended there only. Having sensed that 5 apex bodies came in August 2023, it's time for the parent body, the apex body to step in. August 2023, the committee formed apex body for actor representative representing the tribe, and 5 of us are here today. We had done our homework. We had met different people, different stakeholders, people who could give opinions, retired officers, serving officers, and people well versed in policy matters. We had come to a conclusion that it's time to take the matter to the state government. Just as September 20, Amakan Jagina, Honorable Chief Minister ke memorandum submit kurishi. There, many of you must have already gone through it. We had pointed out the issues that were not addressed, and we came to a conclusion, 2 core demands. That is, either scrap the policy if the government is not interested, or give us the balance of unreserved quota. Iti 2 core demand asade. Eninga September the dirishe, government sabo koi gina iku nokuri gina March bi khatam hoise. Dukani on April 26th, we gave an ultimatum, a 1-month ultimatum. You all must have come across it. That unless our demands are addressed, we'll take to democratic form of protest. Eninga koi gina aise. Aru itu bi government to iku action nai. We decided on May 24th that starting May 29th, we will start with our agitations. In continuation with that, May 29th, Amakan sub-district headquarters protest march drawing the attention of the government. The government, as it is always known, 28th Amakan address meeting call of we went ahead since we were ready, and the protest, despite the inclement weather, was a success in all the districts. June 3rd, government Amakan ke invite Kuranchna Jaishe. It was our Deputy Chief Minister home, Shri Y. Patton, was the chairman of that meeting. And in that meeting, we reiterated our core demands, the 2 core demands. But then, the meeting can come to conclusion that there will be an independent commission. Now, this is for the audience. I will tell you that is not our demand in the first place. The government say, unless there is a commission to look into it, we cannot simply take action. Okay, we said yes. Then they say give us 2 weeks time for the cabinet to sit and 1 month time for the commission to be constituted. It was 2 weeks time. Dishe cabinet said on 12th June. Nothing was communicated to us. And then here said the commission to set up that was not a demand in the first place. Alarm July 2. The Honorable Chief Minister said that any reservation review will be done only after census. The same old excuse. Now, if you all remember, census to announce next year March ke house listing jabo, 27 March 2027 March head count jabo, and many of you are in government service also, and having stayed in Kohima thaga to you must be well aware. Ito ek saal to jabo, ini ka hole election bhi hai jabo, to census piche de ase koile ro aro commission to 2-3 years to ki kuri thakibo. It's a mockery. That's why we decided to go ahead with our agitation starting today. Yesterday there was an appeal from the government that must have confused some section of our society also, but then we were very firm. Okay, Since the government and the ministers requested us when the Honorable CM is currently abroad, sitting across the table, we also said, okay then, we will limit our protest to sit in one-day protest, that is today, since we are already prepared, and we are prepared, if you are prepared to honor your commitment and let the Chief Minister come. That is our stand as of today. If that doesn't materialize, we'll move on to our next step of agitation, and I request you all to be ready. Why? Because many of you here who are no more students, who are already mothers, who are already fathers, you may not benefit, I may not benefit, but it is your children, it is your grandchildren, the future, who is going to benefit. And unless today, even if we are inconvenienced for us to stand here also, unless we do this sacrifice, our children are not going to have a clear future. That's why I thank you all for coming here today, leaving all your busy assignments, your work schedules, to express your solidarity.
I stand before you today not as a convener of the 5 Tribes Committee on review of the reservation policy, but as a voice representing the deep concerns and rightful aspirations of the 5 apex tribal bodies, Angami Public Organization, Ao Senden, Lutha Hoho, Sumi Hoho, and Rengma Hoho. These respected Hohos have nominated us and entrusted us with a responsibility to speak truly, boldly, and firmly on a matter that has long been left ignored. Accordingly, on the 20th September 2024, we submitted a memorandum to the government of Nagaland, as our member secretary has already stated. Our demand was either to scrap the current Nagaland reservation policy or to allot the unreserved quota to the 5 tribes. Ami khan laga main demand to itu ase Nagaland reservation policy itu 48 years in existence to scrap kori dibi. Itu ami khan laga demand ase. Aru government itu koribo na pare koile unreserved quota to ami khan ge 5 tribes ke di dibi. Itu ami khan laga core demand itu ase. When the government did not respond to our memorandum, we issued a 30-day ultimatum on 26 April 2025. As the government continued to remain silent, we launched the first phase of our democratic agitation, a public protest relay across all 8 districts of Nagaland on 28 May 2025. Our protest was peaceful, dignified, and united in message. Enough is enough. Dear friends, 48 years we have supported and allowed time for the implementation of the Nagaland reservation policy. Amigan 48 years to ini allowed kuri dishe. Nagaland government ke itu aram pra chula bole. We have done so in the spirit of brotherhood and solidarity, hoping that it will extend benefits to the needy people. And indeed, it has enabled several backward tribes to rise, sometimes even surpassing the so-called advanced tribes. 48 years stay, itu reservation policy implement kurado. Dishi manu backward te thakle bi tia to advanced tribe khan prabi age bari jaise. Itu ami khan clearly dikhe ase. Here the key question is, how long is too long? Let me remind all of us here that Nagaland reservation policy was never meant to permanent. It was to be reviewed every 10 years. But in 1989, the government issued a notification that the existing policy will continue until further orders, a vague declaration that has now turned into indefinite extension. 1989 te 10 साल ভিতৰতে এটো ৰিজাৰ্ভেশ্যন তো ৰিভিউ কৰিবলৈ তো প্ৰভিজন আছে অলৰেডি 1989 তে গভৰ্নমেন্ট তো এটো ৰিভিউ কৰিলা বদলিতে এটো ৰিজাৰ্ভেশ্যন পলিচি তো অৰ্ডাৰ আৰু ফাৰ্ডাৰ অৰ্ডাৰ না দিয়া তক এক্সটেন্ড কৰি থাকিব কোৱাটো আজি তক 48 years হৈ যাইছে without proper reservation. Is this what envisioned? A policy that by now should have evolved, revised, or concluded has instead become permanent by neglect. Government to itu loigna permanent laga provision banai dis. Kan laga negligence pra. Over the years, state government has constituted several committees to study and recommend changes to this policy. But what has happened? Committee alak beshi constitute kurigina itu reservation policy examine kuribole review kuribole kurise olibi itu khan laga report to kute ase. Their reports lie in cold storage, gathering dust, and the concerns raised have gone unheard. Tate ta khan ki recommend kurise government itu eku action loa nai, except a few token adjustment. Peace bill de yate tate pick up kurina dusra to ni philai dis. As we continue to praise for change, we must also highlight the core issues that demand urgent examination if government truly intends to review the policy. Government to itu policy to review koribo lage, scrap na kurigina review koribo lage, oilibi itu core issue khan to charibo na lage. Number 1 ase reservation policy duration to itu indefinite thakibo naki. Number 2 ase concept of internal reservation and the discrimination it has created. Amikan sob scheduled tribe ase itu scheduled tribe reservation to 80% rakhiche itu 80% de bitor aru reservation rakhina itia half century jai ase without reviewing. Third ase multiple benefits and flexible options and the lack of a creamy layering exclusion for backward tribes. Backward tribes can reservation pa khan bhi deserving khan to na pae. Creamy layers khan he enjoy kore tate bhi. Aru ta khan dole multiple option ase. Open competition te bhi ta khan koribo pare, reserve quota te bhi pabo pare. Open de na pae kole tate reservation de jaina loi lobo. Aru ami khan so called advanced tribes khan to ta khan pra high mark paile bhi ta khan to na pae. Ta khan pra category low. Suppose in Amigan la candidate khan to 80% paina panai ta khan dole 50% de pai jaise. So is it not a discrimination? Charta kutha ase unjust age relaxations and cut-off marks, discrepancies that put others at a disadvantage. Cut-off mark bhi komti bishi duita category banaise, age relaxation bhi bishi di dise, sub option open to reserve categories. Panchta kutha ase backlot of reserve posts. Backlot reservation category te backlot post to bishi hoi jaise. Olibi ta khan backward tribe khan pra itu fill up koribole qualified nai. Itu karone ni sal te itu advertise kuri na jai ase. For example, education sector, 47 teaching posts remain on field due to a lack of qualified applicants from the reserve categories. These posts are advertised and re-advertised every year to no avail, while deserving qualified candidates from our tribes are denied the opportunity to serve. Idman post rakhiche, backlot ase, reserve category khan ase ta khan manu na hatok to 10 saal bhi jabo naki 15 saal jabo naki aru ami khan laga yate qualified khan borta korina unemployed hoina deprived korina thaki ase. So is this justice? Is this what affirmative action was supposed to look like? Moreover, the current system based solely on tribe status is deeply flawed. Tribe-wise reservation system to flawed ase. It fails to distinguish between those who are truly disadvantaged and those who are not. Reservation should target economic and social backwardness. Economic and social backwardness saikana reservation dibo lage. Itu constitutional provision dibe ase, only to misuse hui ase. Many people in pocket areas, regardless of tribe, face real hardship. But this policy does not reach them. Amikhan tribe advance koile bhi, backward koile bhi, bishi jagate hussa bhi economically aro socially backward khan ase. Itu reservation to takhange bhi na ponche. Reservation tribe pa khan bhi takhange bhi na ponche. Itu defective to itu ase. Let us not forget this crucial fact. In Nagaland, all tribes are scheduled tribes. So, tribe tole scheduled tribes ase. So, the continued classification into backward and advanced tribe is not only unjust, it is discriminatory and divisive. Amikhan tribe majote, Naga tribe majote, reservation policy haligana amikhan majote discrimination rakhi ase, aro divisive policy ase. We therefore reiterate our clear and rightful demands. Either scrap the reservation policy entirely or allocate the remaining unreserved quota fairly to the 5 aggrieved tribes, Angami, Ao, Sumi, Lutha, and Rengma. On 3rd June 2025, state government convened a joint meeting with the 5 tribes at the Chief Secretary's Conference Hall. We were told that within a fortnight, a decision on setting up of commission would be conveyed and that within a month, action would be taken on our demands. Itu commission set up kuribo, kuikana ulai jato le 3rd meeting government amikan ke matikana jadin de itu. It is the outcome of the meeting only. Itu to amikan la demand nahi. Amikan la demand to reservation policy scrap kuribi, nohole unreserved quota to amikan 5 tribes kan ke dibi. Itu he ase. Itu karne government to itu opor de amikan la demand opor de ajitok eku communication dia nai. Apni kan la demand take up kuribo kwa bhi likha nai, na kuribo kwa bhi likha nai dei. Itu karne aji amikan yate gather kura to itu pressurize kuribole itu yate jama hoise. Today, more than a month has passed. There is no notification, no update, no action. Are we to conclude that this is not a priority for the government? Amikhan like to demand to the government karne eku priority nahi naki. Aji tok amikhan laga eku demand upor de government to eku action loi dia nahi. Worse still, we have come to learn that government now intend to wait for the next population census 2025. Government to itia to itu amikhan laga demand upor de action loa laga budli de. Commission set up kurigina 3 saal aro jaigana thakibo aro itu pichite sabo kwa to commission itia ki purpose karne set up korise. 2027 census may not conclude in 2027 again. 2028 to election ahi jabo itu time te ministry kun ahibo najani. So before addressing our issue, the government is now shifting with the excuse of population census 2027. Are we expected to sit quietly for another 3 or 4 years? Does this mean we will celebrate 50 years, a golden jubilee of a flawed and unreviewed policy? Golden jubilee celebrate kuribole amikhan rukhias naki? Eto defective policy loikana. Let us be clear. 48 years is enough. The time to act is now. Etia amikhan move kore ase. Etu thik homoy amikhan be better late than never. We're gathered here today not out of anger, but out of conviction. We are not here to create division, but to restore fairness. And let us be honest, if there is political will, State Cabinet can sit and take a decision on our demands even today. Aji amikhan yate khara ase. State government or political will thakile aji cabinet sitting korina bi decision korina dibo pare. We urge the government, do not delay justice any longer. We want a government where every tribe is treated fairly, where merit, equality, and opportunity are not sacrificed at the altar of outdated policies. Before I conclude, I thank all the Apex tribal organizations, civil society, and concerned citizens who continue to support this cause. Let us remain united, firm, and peaceful in our stand. May God bless our collective efforts. May God bless the 5 tribes. May God bless Nagaland. Thank you all.
48 years! 48 years! Oh, thank you all. Can you be seated?
Reservation, as I have said on 29 May, reservation is a constitutional act. Reservation should benefit the underprivileged, the economically weaker section, the economically and less educated people. Whereas today's, when we talk about reservation in Nagaland, which was firm in 1977, and it clearly states that this reservation would only cover the grade 4 and grade 3 employees. This will not include the technical and the gazetted posts. That was clearly mentioned. But when we look today, the reservation, though it is clearly mentioned in that order, that was not followed. And it has been doing for this, other speaker has said, it has been doing for this long 48 years. Today, the 5 tribes, we are not against any tribes or any community. We are here requesting the government to make a review on this. Whether these long 48 years have really benefited the backward tribes, the so-called backward tribes. We don't want to mention backward or forward. This is not what we wish to say. Because there is no class in Naga society. We are all equals. And we don't want to refer other tribes as backwards. So in general, we are all equals. There may be some economically backward classes. We do consider and we do sympathy with them. But today, because of this reservation policy, the merit have been dying down. The competitive spirit has gone down. So we want the government to review whether this is really benefiting or whether this is really going to the so-called economic backward classes, which has been reserved for these people. If we review this, we will come to know. So we wanted the government to review all these things. But then since government has not done on this request, today we have gathered here. Our march, our democratic exercises will be very peaceful. We will democratically, ask for our rights. We will protect the rights of the other communities, other tribes, and together we will fight for our rights. Because as of today, when we see this reservation is not giving the right opportunity to the right person, to the right deserving candidate. So let us once again request the government to please consider our demand on priority. And as the government has told us that they will form a commission, let the commission exercise its words. And in the meantime, let the reservation be stopped. Let us stop the reservation once the commission is set up, so that the commission will do justice and to the best interest of all the tribes of our people. I thank all the participants on behalf of Angami Public Organization for taking the pain and traveling through long distance to have this, to show this united effort, to show this solidarity to one another. And we are here not for ourselves, for the 5 tribes alone, but we are here fighting for all the underprivileged people, those who are ignored, those who are not given, or those who are not being allowed to get the right opportunity, right platform.
We are very grateful to the convener and his team, in his committee, for leading us this far. And we are highly confident that under their competent leadership, we will achieve our goal. Today we are gathered here not just to merely show our physical presence and also not to take away someone's right, but we are here to stand for our right so that our younger generation and the future generations shall not suffer as we are suffering till date. We cannot wait until the next census is over, so the government of the day should, at the earliest, respect and recognize our demands. If the government is not willing to do it as early as possible, we are ready and committed to stand as long as it takes. But it is our sincere request that the government should do it at the earliest. So, until we achieve our goal, let us stay committed, let us stay united, and stand together until we achieve it. May the wisdom of our Almighty God guide us and bless us all. Thank you.
The reservation policy, which has started 47 years back, has not been touched, reviewed all this time. And as Nagas, we should be on the same footing. Nagas are all ST. This fight is not against our brothers and sisters from the backward community. This fight is against the government, which have been keeping this reservation policy for the last 48 years, not reviewing this policy. As a progressive society, when people progresses, reservation policy should be do away with. Nagaland is a very literate state. Nagaland stands in the 3rd position in the literacy rate with a percentage of 95.7%. And I think the state government should also understand that a state with a very high literacy rate should always have and should always opt for meritocracy. We are not here to snatch away the rights of those brothers and sisters, which the government has termed as a backward society. No. This fight is against the policy which has been kept in the cold storage for such a long time. And we should all raise and fight this issue, so that posterity should enjoy this. That being said, on behalf of the whole Lota community and the Lota Hoho, I thank all the partakers in this program, the participants, especially the students community, the parents who have come here from different places and coming and showing our solidarity. On behalf of the Lota Hoho and the whole Lota community, I thank you all. Thank you so much.
Today, we, the Rengma Hoho, stand in solidarity with the 5 tribes in our fight to review the outdated reservation policy of the state government and to get our rightful place in the society. For too long, the 5 tribes have been marginalized and excluded from the benefits of progress. It is time our contributions are recognized and the historical injustices we have faced is addressed. Reservation is not the matter of policy. It is a matter of justice and equality. By reserving seats and opportunities for us, we will not only be given a fair chance to participate in governance and development, but also acknowledging our unique cultural identities. The 5 tribes, with their own rich cultural heritage that enriches our nation too, by supporting us, our nation's diversity will be preserved and inclusive growth will be promoted. Among the 5 tribes, let me say this with deep pain and conviction, that the Rengmas are the most deprived, the most neglected when it comes to representation in the government services. For over 15 long years, not a single Rengma has been able to compete and succeed in the Nagaland civil services or the Nagaland police services. Meanwhile, particular tribes that enjoy the benefits of reservation has produced over 30 officers within the same period. This is not only just an imbalance, it is a systemic failure. A failure of policy, a failure of justice. We are told that reservation system exists to uplift socially and economically disadvantaged, but who is more disadvantaged than a tribe that has no voice in the corridors of power? Where is equality? Where is justice? Where is the promise that no tribe will be left behind? The Rengmas have always stood with our fellow tribes in peace and unity. But when a policy claims to uplift some while leaving others to struggle without representation, without officers, without opportunities, it becomes nothing but a tool of discrimination. Let this movement started by the 5 tribes be a beginning of change, not just for the Rengmas, but for every tribe that believes in equality, merit, and true justice. Thank you, and may truth and justice prevail. May God bless Nagaland. Thank you.
From the office of the Simohoho, I want to extend warm regards and greetings to all of you. We are here fighting for justice, fighting against the deprivation and segregation. We are here demanding justice, and we are here propagating meritocracy. We do understand the difficulties of the government, but the matter, the issue demands swift action by the government. It needs an immediate intervention. Way back in 1977, when the then government of Nagaland adopted the reservation policy and implemented the policy, their motive was very clear: to uplift the status of the less privileged, the so-called backward tribe. And so we do appreciate the government of back then in 1977. But now
the policy has become a deprivation of the so-called advanced tribes. We want to make it loud and clear that 48 years, which is almost half a century, is enough. We are not saying that 48 years is too much. We are saying that 48 years is enough. The 5 tribes have been very patient. We've been very cooperative with the government. And as I've mentioned, as I've said earlier, 48 years is enough. Half a century is enough. Now, as pointed out by the convener and my speakers earlier, there are many discrepancies, many loopholes and discrepancies in the policy. And so, we've been demanding this for the last almost 2 years or so. We have got enough of assurances, but the government has to understand that we need action, not assurances. And so we are committed to fight till our demand is met. Here, the government is of the opinion that this reservation policy will be reviewed only after the census is done. But I want to reiterate what our APO Vice President has said. If at all, if the government wants to review only after the census, they have to know that the policy, the reservation policy should be kept in abeyance till the census is done. The policy should be kept suspended till the conduct of the census. If that is the case, then we will keep quiet. We will say yes to the government. But if the policy has to go on, we will also go on with our protest. So that is something which we have to make very clear to the government. If at all, the government has to review. If the government cannot scrap the policy, if the government has difficulty in scrapping the policy, then they have to review it. There has to be drastic review in the policy. I'm very sure the Commission will invite the committee, the Corrp, and the tribal leaders for a discussion. We have got many suggestions to be made to them. So there has to be much changes in the policy. And the one thing which the government and all of us has to know is that, as mentioned by the former speakers, we are all scheduled tribes. And so the reservation is not required for within the Naga tribes. If at all the government doesn't scrap the policy, and if at all the government has to review the policy, then we have to make sure that the government gives set a proper time or term, maybe 5 years or 10 years or 15 years or so. And the policy should co-terminus with the expiry of the policy term, because this reservation should not go on for a lifetime. And so if at all the government has to review, if the government doesn't scrap the policy, and if the policy has to be reviewed, there has to be the term for the policy should be properly set. And the policy should go terminus with the expiry of the policy term. That is my opinion. I'm very sure government is of the people, for the people and by the people, and so government will heed to what we are demanding, and we will wait and see. And like the letter we received last evening, I hope the government will be very positive with what we are demanding, or else we have the committee, the 5 tribes and the Corrp committee, we have resolved to go with the, we have planned different phases of agitation. I hope we won't go up to that extent, and I believe the government will hit to what we are demanding. And as my other colleagues have said, Simhoho will fully stand fighting for our legitimate rights, and will make sure that we get what we are demanding. Thank you so much. God bless us all.
De-reserved. I will not take the names, but it is an open secret. Why has the government not acted upon that? Today the government may form a commission, a committee, but what if it doesn't accept and prolongs it? That's why your presence, your cooperation, together we have to ensure that the justice is done to us. Otherwise, amakan sab nijor laga comfort zone di thagele to idu police 50 years or 100 years bhi ponchibol ase de. Idu garne patience thagibi koise 48 years to patience to bisho hoichido. Now it has become unbearable. That's why we are all here today. That's why my request is, let's make this day a historic occasion by being patient enough and by taking part in this day-long program. I'm sure there's a huge debate. So especially our youth and student leaders will give time to them also to hear their perspective, to hear their opinion, what they expect from us, and what are they looking to the future.
In our first phase agitation, I have said, when we see something that is not right, we should speak up, we should say something, we should do something. We are very happy and grateful to the leaders, our parent leaders, for taking up this issue. Even though their days are gone, they have shown serious concern to our youths, and we can assure that we will give our full support in this issue. Thank you for the time. Give you Uya.
Today I stand here on behalf of the AGM, our Students Conference. Firstly, before I start, I want to acknowledge each and every one of you present here today. I would like to appreciate the 5 tribal hohos as well as the student leaders. I would like to give my appreciation to the parent bodies, especially the hohos, for standing for our rights, for our future, the students' community. In the beginning, the secretary of the committee, he has mentioned about the parent body, the parents present here, that the parents, they are not going to benefit from this. It is their children, it is us, the students' community. It is for us that the parent body, the hohos, are fighting for. So I take this opportunity to stand before you to speak on an issue that has long remained unaddressed. The urgent need to revise our reservation policy, especially as it concerns our tribal communities. It has been 48 long years since the last reservation policy was implemented for the backward tribes. While that policy was introduced with the noble intention of uplifting marginalized tribes, but times have changed, and so have the ground realities. The 5 tribal groups have now come forward to rightfully demand a revision. Our voice is not of division. but of justice and equality. A revision, a reform, a policy that served its purpose must now evolve to serve greater purposes. Today, meritocracy is being restrained. The reservation policy in its current form continues to benefit only a selected few tribes, creating a creamy layer. This is not just a question of policy, it's a question of fairness, of ensuring that every tribe has equal access to opportunities and progress. Let us not allow outdated framework to define our future. Let us move towards a revised reservation policy that is dynamic, inclusive, and merit-based, while still honoring the spirit of social justice. The time for revision is not tomorrow. It is now or never. Thank you.
I represent the Lothayu Toho. For all understanding, I will be speaking in Nagamese only. Aji kiman yade ahina se aman 5 tribes kan Lotha Hobi, Ringma, Ao, Angami, and Sumi brothers. Yade Saisigale crowd kan Saisigale aman bishibak do overage hoigna baba makan aro maybe some of the youths are also already overage. Idu nishna reservation policy do 48 years hoise, almost 48 years, and it's going to hit a half century. So we appealed to the Nagaland government to not let us celebrate half century for this reservation policy. And itu amala reservation policy do saisugally amala 5 tribes kani do bishi patience loigina amhan aise. Enough is enough. So aman yedekiman chamagurina se, and maybe in other districts aman 5 tribes tagamanugan, 8 tribes alak tagamanugan. Aro amala fight to aji. Itu hi not only today, but amala fight to agede jabulase. Itu gani until and unless the government hear our cry. Itu gani. Yedekiman jo nahina se pisibak do Kohima de tagamanugan se. But in the further course of action, they holibi alak tribe de thaga alak jaga de tagamanugan holibi ipil gurese. Aji kiman jon ahina ede bohina se itu nisna aman aji united Quran nisna age de holebi aman united Quran gole 18 sabra muri jaisigle amala 5 tribes karni do. It will be mockery this with this reservation policy. To itu gani aman sai gole amala teda kan result kiman ola se aman recently in SSP kan ola kan sai gole reservation policy tade backlog la post can be given ahinase. And not only that, backlog thaga gani maybe the government establishment can be smooth functioning be na phalbra na hoina jai thaki ho pare. To amani itu dikhi ase. To amala 5 tribes, the so-called we say that we are advanced tribe, but we are a grief tribes. We should say that we are grief tribes. So amala 5 tribes they markings kan saisugule aro we are not against any tribes, but marking system aro reservation policy de marks kan saisugule manukan bra aman bra 80 baisugule kotha reserve backward tribes koi tha tribes kan do 50 baisugule taigan do baije aro mahan na bai sai de gibi aman saisugule result de aman 5 tribes kan do deserving biche ase. So backlog kan de why not we practice meritocracy? Among tribes, 5 tribes kan do 9 lagi. We have very much qualified intellectual species among Holibi. Due to this reservation policy, we are deprived of our rights. So I would like to appeal to the government to take this issue very issue Barbara Luina Jana Gule Aman. We will fight for our rights till the end. So I appeal to each and every one of you to kindly give corporations so that our younger generations will not blame us. Aman aji start gurise age de start gurina atha rasta de jai jai shugule aman to aro stagnant hoi jabo. Aro sai shugule recently aman forest department de eman recruitment la them out of 154 or 57 posts, 23,000 candidates. That shows that unemployment is on the rise in Nagaland. But meritocracy cholai shugule amahan kani do 5 tribes kani do reservation na thagina thagi shugule. I hope meritocracy cholai shugule. This cause is not only for our advanced tribe, but sub mano kani tribes sub kani meritocracy kani aman idu fight kurese to idu kani. As I've said, we are not against any tribes, but we are fighting for the justice and meritocracy in Nagaland. So with these few words, I would like to complete my speech. Thank you.
I represent Lota Students Union, and today I stand before you not just as a student leader, but as a voice of all the students' community. A community that has silently endured the effects of the long indefinite reservation policy that has lasted for 48 years. Yes, that's right, 48 years. Now, let me be very clear. This movement or this protest is not against the reservation itself. This protest or this movement is against the continuation of the indefinite reservation policy without any review, without any time limit, and without any accountability. While we recognize the value and intent of the reservation was introduced to bring equality, to uplift the weaker sections of the society. But what was meant to be temporary has now become permanent. And now we ask, how long must we wait? How long will the merit and equal opportunity be ignored? As students, we study, we work hard, we dream for a better future. But when all the doors are closed simply because of an outdated policy, we are forced to ask, is this justice? Therefore, we urged and demand to the government of Nagaland and our leaders to listen. It is time to review. It is time to revise. It is time to reform the reservation policy. Let it be fair. Let it be based on the current realities, present realities, and not past policies. Lastly, I would like to make an appeal. I urged all the right-thinking citizens, elders, youths, students, please do not remain silent. Let's stand united, peacefully, but firmly, for truth, for justice, for equality, and for better Nagaland. Thank you.
48 years is more than enough, I should say, and we all agree on that. We can see in the recent declared SSP result, nearly half of the percent they are taking, and this is injustice for the so-called advanced tribe. We are not advanced, we are aggrieved, and we should all stand together and fight for this injustice. I want to thank our parent body for taking up this action. So I request all to cooperate with them, and we should show our support to them and from our side, we fully support this cause. And thanks so much. May God bless all. Thank you.
To the core committee for organizing such sitting protests. Thank you for understanding the sentiments of the student community. Thank you for understanding the pain, the tears of injustice, the tears of insecurity, the tears of inequality delivered to the student community, to our community. I give thanks to all of you. Mui ekta gole munjado. Mui ekta NPSC exam dina. NPSC exam dina. Official wina office te kam guru wina mui NPSC karne prepare kuri daishe. 8 hours, 9 hours prepare kuri daishe. Mui over frustrated daishe. I give my mula NPSC exam first daishe. Marks bal baishe. Yes, bal baishe. Holi mui olanai. Mui ulanai, the one who got less marks than me, tahando ulai jishe. For what? Reservation quota. Mui he marks bishi baishe, I was supposed to be getting through. Holi mui naulao jishe. Itu karne mui extra frustrated jishe mui NPSC do. I will just leave it. Natiu jawa. Wina mui natiu jishe. Natiu jaina mui student leader ekta ho. Student leader ekta wina mui itu reservation policy do. Moi itu garne hala guru, moi itu garne ekta activist ekta wina thakiwo. Moi suffer brain isna mula student community anke global na diwo de. Wina moi ekta KSSU president guru wina moi. This is my main reason of becoming the president of KSSU wina apne nge junai kese. Moi KSSU la president wina core committee tribal host kange kole munjado. Aru kuribi, aru fight kuribi. आपने किमान आगे जाओ, किमान फाइट कर ले आगे जाओ, कोहिमा सुमी स्टूडेंट्स यूनियन कंदो every time आपने यहाँ लाते strong हुई ना खड़ा करो दे, कोई नहीं तो अपना इंगे कोई दे से. Thank you.
जी अमी खान लगा 5 tribe committee इधु निका धारणा प्रोग्राम करी कि अमी खान सब के की करने यदि बोहे ऐसे अमी खान लगा keynote address नोले भी अमी खान लगा chairperson पर सब कोई दिशे अमी को बोले तो Rengma Solosi, Rengma Youth Organization to Amikhan fully Amikhan itu cause karne to fully support ase koi kina sob se age itu koi dia ase aro ami kobole mun thagya du sob manubi koi dise 48 years Amikhan laga age de sumio ho laga president laga supplement kori dibole mun ase Amikhan state government bra itu population census hoa piche de reservation kuribo koile itia reservation benefit thagya itu do stop kuribo lage itu do strongly ami bi itu support kuri ase itu piche de reservation tahan kebi itu population census hoa piche de tahan kebi itu effect jabo lage itu do strongly ami itu bi support kuri ase aro ami khan laga backward tribe khan kebi kobole mun thagya do আমি খান ইটো 5 tribe reservation policy ইটো তাই খান কে against করে নহয় হইলিবি তাই খান বি leaders খান বি ইটো fully আমি খান কে support কৰিব লাগে কি পিছে দে হলিবি আমি খান কমিটি খান কিতিয়া আমি খান কে মাতিব আমি খান আইব কই কিনা ইটো সব কে জানাই দি আছে থ্যাংক ইউ
the committee par 5 members committee par noi gira amakan bi apni khan mandate dia inchna magan 5 tribes intellectuals officers retired politicians सबके idea लोइगे नहीं तो पर है अमकल आज की को ऐसे तो narrative drive करा से एक ता दूसरा clarification other side भी narrative एक ता spread करेगी ना अमकल लगा narrative इतो मिटाई दी बोले इतो counter करो बोले इतो लाए first and foremost backward reservation हटाई ले ST reservation पे अमकल हटाई वो लागे इतो भी कोई लेकिन that is no way connected. For those of you who are aware about the Indian caste system, Amagan, as scheduled tribe, we are getting 7.5%. India Day, scheduled tribe is not about Northeast Amagan tribes in Hoido. We don't make up even 30% of the total population of tribals in India. Tribals in India, Adivasis, Santals, Bhils, Jharkhand, Bihar, MP, Rajasthan. And if you have seen the results of UPSC, Meena koi ki ekta tribe ase de Rajasthan de 70-80% UPSC de IAS IPS to takhani loi re de Olepi, we don't have a separate quota for Nagas. Naga, itu sal UPSC result में हमारा Naga तो blank था किसे, ना तो reservation का Olepi reserve बिटोरी कौन meritocracy itu खानी लोए दो. But Nagaland has a unique arrangement. Amagan 80% reserve kushe, tati para backward aise, tati para our backlog bhi aise. So we are in 3-tier resolution. Idu kaade, the propaganda being spread is backward. Amagan STP charva, that is literally a utopian idea, and it is no way connected. And Indian government para, jidi amagan government force kukena backward hathaile, tati bhi ST hathai dibo itu propaganda bhi jai. That is not the case. We are not the only STs. The STs. Beyond notice, he bishya the please don't fall for that propaganda. Second thing is, census has no connection with the reservation. If that be the case, India the scheduled caste 15% paise, among the scheduled caste 7.5, OBC 27%, Milagina 48 plus. Olebi Supreme Court right to ceiling dignase. Olebi, if you go according to the population, with the three communities are 80% of the population. To population is 80% mangi mona ki. So there is no provision that population is to census kurigini to diboy to be neither. So this census is just an excuse to delay the inevitable. So please don't talk about census. Census is for other parameters like socio-economic development, not on reservation, and that has never been the case in the union government also. So census, as I repeat, is just an excuse. Third thing, ekta propaganda WhatsApp te bhi jai. That ours have 22,000 employees, Simis have 18,000 government employees, Angamis have 15,000. Sab tribe government servant iki hobo lage ratio nahatak to inika reservation jabo lage. It cannot be. How can a tribe with almost 3 lakh population have the same number of government employees with a tribe that has 50,000 population? That cannot be the case here. But that is a wrong narrative. So, at the end of the day, Amagan Biswabi, for 48 years, yes, initially this reservation was needed to uplift the people, but there is a certain time duration. India di Kwanchina, why scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBC reservations are because there's a rigid caste system. Upper caste kan pura, Amagan tribals kan ge, scheduled caste kan ge, Dalit, Vidu kan ge to takan laga, Urshode bhi aibulo de, Bosi de bhi takan laga, Goa di pani uthabulo de. Itu kani, this social justice has to be done. But Nagaland, I don't think we have that. We are all equals. But then unfortunately, reservation is creating a class of people that people have or have nots. And unfortunately, this reservation, instead of benefiting, is creating a class of society in Nagaland. And if it goes on for the next decade or so, the distinction will be very clear. Yeti participant kiman aigna se apni khan na jana kwa noy. Apni khan bhi janiye. So jana apni khan you are aware. But adding to that awareness, let's all come together to appeal us. Today this is one of the first protests, of course, in districts will be in the capital. If the government remains adamant, we will intensify. Please bring your neighbors, your friends, your relatives to show the solidarity. Ininga kurli amakala demand meet over there.